Welcome back, everyone. It's a new week with your favorite show at this time of the hour, Faith and Melody. And today, we're all about taking a digital break. We're so excited for you to join us today and for you to share your thoughts and insights. So, let's get started with the first song on our playlist, which is entitled The Greatness of Your Love. Enjoy.
Never will I let go of loyalty. Never will I let go of my faith. Never will I rely on what I merely know. I will depend on you. Look at the right way you show. Guide me on the path to salvation. Show me the solution when I am lost and in confusion. Remind me, teach me your words I need. That every time, Lord, guide me, always recall the greatness of your love. Never will I think I am wiser than I am. Humble heart, I will obey. I'll pay close attention when you correct me. I will follow wherever you lead me, because you know what's best for me. You know what's best for me. Father, guide me on the path to salvation. Show me the solution when I am lost and in confusion. Remind me, teach me your words I need. Not every time, Lord, guide me, always recall the greatness of your love. The greatness of your love. The greatness of your love. Father, the greatness of your love. Never will I ever want never will I ever want and you I will never be and you I will never be for I can go on alone. You know it's true. Yes, I'll remain with you. I'll remain with you. Father, guide me on the path to salvation. Show me the solution when I am lost and in confusion. Remind me, teach me your words I need. And let every time, Lord, guide me, always recall the greatness of your love. 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 The greatness of your
Don't be afraid to take the baby steps. It's another day. Don't forget God's just a prayer away. Don't give up now. Trust the process and keep learning. And if you need a friend, we're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. Together as
Welcome, welcome everyone to Faith and Melody, the program where we have meaningful conversations about our faith as members of the Church of Christ, while we also listen to INC original music. Greetings to all viewers, especially those tuning in right now from the Philippines, since it's a brand new day there. It's currently 12:07 a.m. there in the Philippines. So, good morning to all of you. And whether you're tuned in with us live right now or on the replay later on, welcome, welcome to today's episode of Faith and Melody with our topic for today. Taking a digital break. I am your sister Belle or sister Arabelle Celestino coming all the way from London, United Kingdom. And not to worry, I'm not the only one today on the panel. If the brother here would like to introduce himself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I am Brother Nicole Chase Angeles, and I'm also from the UK, but I'm in Wales, so I'm in Britain North.
Thank you so much, Brother Chase, for joining us today. And we also have a sister with us, at Care.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone out there. I am Carolyn Shank from Sacramento, District of Northeast California, here in the US. Hi.
Thank you so much. Hi. Thank you so much for both of you for joining us today. And yes, since we just introduced our guest, we would also like to give a shout out to our Ohana there in Team Live Chat. Hello for everyone. And yes, what to expect for today's show? Well, we will be starting off with our icebreaker segment. And throughout the show, we will have a curated selection of INC original music. We also have a designated Faith and Melody Heartbeats, which will be playing. We will be playing Ice original music songs, but that's also a slot for you to, you know, let us know any song requests that you would like to for us to play. So in Team Live Chat, if you have any song requests, just let us know down there in the comment section. And of course, today we have our topic discussion followed by our verse of the week. And yes, our team Ohana, they're in Team Live Chat. Please continue to join us throughout the show, especially during our topic discussion for today. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and press the like button. And there's also the notification bell while you when you subscribe, so you can be up to date with every INC radio show, not only Faith and Melody, but every INC radio show here on INC Radio DZEM 954. And we'll with that said, let's start off with our icebreaker.
Icebreaker!
Well, today's icebreaker is quite simple. It's this or that. So I will be asking a few questions, and you need to choose one of the two options that I will be giving. So let's start off with the first one, since our topic discussion for today is taking a break from digital medium. Let's start off with smartphone or computer. Let's see who wants to start.
I guess I'll go. Yeah, I will take smartphone because it's so much easier to handle and you can take it with you everywhere you go. So that's
That's
me.
that's true. It's an all rounder. It's really portable. What about you, Brother Chase?
I would actually pick computer because there's a lot more you can do. Although it's not as portable, I think I'm quite like adept at like fixing it or like dealing with any issues. So yeah, I think it's nice having the option to do a lot more.
For me, I'm kind of torn because on your phone you can take pictures, but I use my laptop more, my computer more. So I'm kind of torn, but for now I'll just go for a phone because it's got more things, like in terms of variety of things that you can do outside the house. You can bring your phone everywhere. So for me, in terms of convenience, I will be choosing phone for today. And yes, hopefully Team Live Chat will be joining us in our icebreaker too. Sister Sister Joy Pascual, hello po sister. She said smartphone. And Sister Myrtle Ann said it depends on the amount of work I have to do. I prefer to have my two monitors to see multiple screens and keyboard to type faster. So I think she prefers her laptop to work to begin with. And here we have Brother Henry Inocencio saying I need computer at home, but phone when not at home. Yeah. And then Sister Myrtle also added that, um, but a smartphone is definitely more compact and convenient, and that's true. I think it really depends on the occasion and on your lifestyle as well. But yes, let's go on to our next question, which is call or message. Let's see, Brother Chase or
Um,
Atikar.
I'm I'm really bad if it's like sudden out of the blue calls if I don't expect it. So I'd want to say message, but I prefer speaking to people rather than typing because I think you can like understand what they're trying to get across better, and also you can kind of hear the tone of their voice and understand how they're feeling as well a lot better.
Yes. For the same reason that goes for me as well. I prefer call rather than message. And sometimes, when you get a phone call, um, it's just like you're more alert of that rather than like multiple notifications about your messages or texts. So I prefer calls in that case. I take care. What about you?
Wow. I'm torn. I'm actually torn with that one. I prefer the messages, and only a few I will take a call, knowing that I can hear, um, again, like Brother said, your expressions, and you can hear how the tone is, and you can hear if it's good news, if it's bad news. You can. You can tell the difference, as opposed to a message. And one thing I'm also getting into lately is video messages or video calls. So then not only do you get to hear their expressions and their tone, but you can also see their face as well. So just a few that I'm just learning to do that. I'm just learning to pick that up, but would rather it's really neck and neck with calls and messages. It just depends on who's calling.
Oh, yeah. I also agree with that. It really depends on the occasion and on the person that's trying to contact you. I mean, it's much nicer to have calls from your friends. So yeah, that's I understand Atikare. And yes, in terms of call, I forgot about video call. And nowadays, like, people like to use video call much more than just a normal call, and video messages as well. Yeah, I usually like send random video messages to like my to my siblings or like the family chat. That's just funny. Like, you can just like make random pieces and just send it to them. It's much nicer than like sending emoticons or funny stuff in there. So yeah, that's even more interactive in terms of message. Oh, but here with us, we also have brother Mackley. I don't know if he's ready right now, but hopefully he'll be able to. Oh, yeah, you're there. Hello, po.
Hello, sister. Hello, everyone. I'm Brother Mac Ramirez from the local of Oslo, Norway, from the district of Northern Europe. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. But yes, so we're currently on our icebreaker today, and it's this or that. So the question that we're on right now is call or message. So what would you pick?
I would choose call because it's a lot easier to communicate by just directly saying it out loud or to the person you're speaking with. And it removes the miscommunication by just telling it verbally. So I think that's more easier to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Mackley. And then yes, in terms of video calls, there's this question saying video call or in person meeting. So let's see, which one would
Sorry,
you?
I just saw that right now. I'm like, oh no. So okay, so with video call, see the with this for the video call, I have certain friends who only do video calls. Okay, they don't do anything else, and it's only video calls. Um, and then in person meeting. No, I wouldn't want an in person. I'll take the video calls for me. Yeah. It's just a comfort, it's the comfort of your home, right? And then you have everything right in front of you. You have your computer, you have your laptop, you have everything here in front of you. So you have a video call, but you still are able to see that person and still get their emotions and their facial expressions and their tones. So video call for me.
What about Brother Chase?
Um, I think I prefer in person, just because it's a bit more intimate, and although you can see the person and you can see how they're like reacting in the tonality in the video calls, actually like being in the same room, you kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, just it feels more like there's a lot more connection in person, I think.
In terms like since you and Atakir are kind of opposites. It's not really opposites, just like different opinions.
Mm.
For me, like it really depends on the person. Like I don't want to like be doing in-person meetings like all the time, like every week. I think like I need like balance in terms of that. So um yeah, I just really I can't do in-person meetings all the time because like I'm busy and like the other person is busy. And in general, like um I need like time to like, you know, res- um recharge my social battery. So I don't mind any, but if it's like occasional like in-person meetings, that's fine for me. But video calls are like Ate Care said, are more like in my comfort. Yeah, especially when if you are a homebody, like it's much more easier for you. What about you, Brother Makli?
Can I choose both?
You
Like
can.
a perfect balance between like I'm comfortable with being someone like chatting with someone on video call, but also when you're in person, you can't hide. You can't hide from the person like turning off your camera like that. So it's a lot more like being in the moment when you're there in person and having to like communicate directly instead of like kind of hiding behind a device. So I kind of prefer both. Both depends on the mood for me.
It makes sense though because sometimes like especially like all of you, I think most of you I met online. I even not Brother Chase, no, I think I met him in person, but all of you I met online. But it feels like I've known you for like I don't know. Our panel today is like quite chill as well. But like in Faith and Melody, like we're all like a family. So even if we didn't meet in person, it still feels like we're close to one another, and that's why I like about like video call. That's really nice. And in terms of like turning off the camera, like that, it made me laugh because it reminded me of like pandemic when everything was online, and then when if someone was shy, they would just like turn off the camera. And I remember in school, everyone had their camera off. I know it's just funny because like no one's turning on their cameras because everyone is shy. It's just funny. Or maybe because they're wearing PJs, or I don't know. That's why it's just like it took me back to that. But yeah, I feel like it really depends on the people you're interacting with. If it's in person or video call, like there's always a preference as well, like on how close you are with that person, and what you're gonna talk about is of course like because if it's like for work, of course, like sometimes it's better to do like just a video conferencing or like video call. I feel like it's easier that way. But yeah, let's see with our team live chat there, what they're saying. Um, in terms of call or message, Sister Joy Pascual said call. Sometimes messages can't really tell your emotions, and some people misread them and might take it the wrong way. And yeah, that's quite true. And then we also have Brother Rod Kahayek saying, "Hello, Faith and Melody, greetings from Livermore, Northeast California." And he said, I like AI calls, always in person calls. And then he also, no, he also said hello to myself and all the panelists for today. And we also have Sister Zenaida Novistar saying, oh, hello, Ohana, Faith and Melody, greetings from Midtown Toronto, District of Greater Toronto, Canada. And then yes, it's funny you AI calls. That makes sense. But yes, let's go on to our next question. Um, Online games or in-person catch up? Let's see. Let's see. Let's start since it's games. I don't know. Like I don't really game as much. Like I don't know. Let's see. Brother Chase, do you game?
I do game, but actually I don't play games to play the game. I play the game to like talk to the people I'm with. So if it was this or that, I would have to pick in-person hangouts or like catch-ups just because like when I play a game, I don't really focus on like what I'm doing. It's more just like the seeing how everyone is and like catching up with them. So I think if it was in person, it would just be better because you get to actually spend like that physical time in front of them and like really because I think if it's like online, sometimes like you can see how they are, but then after like the call ends or everything, that's it. You know, like people can kind of put on like a front or like to present themselves. But I think in person you can really see like how they're truly feeling if it's like if you're spending a lot of time together.
Yeah, I mean, I also enjoy like doing online games, especially like with the people that are far from me. Um it's just easier, but I much rather do in-person catch up rather than online catch up. For me it's much more fun. And yeah, it doesn't have to be every day as I said earlier, but I prefer in-person catch up. What about you, Atakare?
I think as well. I would prefer the in-person catch up, and I would not catch up, but catch up, because you get the five senses when you're in person with somebody, right? You got the smell of the food, right? If you go out to eat, you can actually hear them. You can hear their tone, um, the taste of the food, the touch. Oh, sorry. I
I think Atahir is having uh, some technical issues right now. Well, with that said, um, this is why I also don't like, I mean, not don't like, I prefer in person catch ups because, internet connections, such as right now.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to decline a call. The call was coming in, but I was saying you get the five senses when you're in person, right? You got the sight, the hearing, the smell, the taste, and the touch. There's always that hug, right? When you first see somebody and you meet someone. So it's always nice to have that in person catch up. For me, I love the five senses when you're with the person you want to actually catch up with, or if not even just catching up, just meeting and reconnecting or connecting with somebody. You have those senses, and it's just nice to get those going as well. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I totally agree with that. And Ate, while you were gone, I said, "Oh, this is also one of the reasons why I prefer in-person catch-ups because of the internet connection." Yeah, it's just like the timing as well. But yes, Brother Mackley, what about you?
Yeah, I would also pick in-person catch-ups. I think, yeah, what Sister Carolyn said, reconnecting with someone, with people that you know, is always a good time, and also making memories is a lot more possible when you're with that person compared to like just playing video games with them. So yeah, I would choose like catching up with someone in person.
Yeah, at least like in this question, at least on the panel, we're like agreeing on one. But yes, in our team live chat there, our Ohana um said a few comments as well. Sister Myrtle Ann said in person catch up over coffee or food. I think like everything is much more fun if there's like food involved. Everyone is excited about food or coffee or a drink like bubble tea. And then Sister Joy Pascual said also in person catch up, not an online game person po. And then Brother Rod said in person meet up while playing online games against each other. I mean, you can do that. It's two birds in one stone. He said game night. I think yeah, certain people do that. You can that there's like in London there's some gaming cafes. You can do that. Like you basically pay by the hour or like you top up your membership, something like that. But yeah, it's quite cool because you see a lot of people like they're hanging out like in person but online at the same time, and they also serve food there. So yeah, I think Rod should go to one of those if he likes those. But yes, with that said,
You know,
I feel
you,
like
you know, Tibel, you know the new thing here in our district is the Katiwas that are 18 and actually even some of the Binhis that are of age. They sometimes they catch up at someone's house and then it's a potluck, and then it becomes a board game. It becomes a board game where you can include between 6 to 12 people, and they play these games. It's almost like a couple of hours, and they bond and they laugh, and you see that when they get together, it's really nice because it's not just like you said, it's not just like only bonding and laughing, but it's the eating and catching up. So it's almost all in one, and it's almost becoming a weekly thing here for the young adults here. They get together and they take turns going to different houses, and then it's a potluck, and they pick a different game, whether it's this game or this game. But it's really cool. We've had it once here, and then they've moved on to other houses. But we've had it once here, and it's really nice to see them all laughing and giggling and just getting together. It's a cool thing, an in-person game night. Like Kuya Raj said, it's an in-person game night, so it's pretty cool.
yeah, it's quite nice being able to do that as a weekly thing. And it becomes like sort of a tradition as well, like over time. That's quite fun. It's quite nice. And you know what's nicer as well, like when once there's game night and like food, uh most of the people don't really use their phone either, so
Mhm.
that's even more fun. My sister at
Exactly.
Erica, she usually is the one organizing game nights and all that sort of stuff, right? For the chase. So yeah, it's just quite fun to make time at least like 1 or 2 hours. That's like more than enough, honestly, on a weekly basis. But yes, hopefully like that will continue on there at the care, and will become a tradition over time. But I yeah, I feel like the ice has been finally broken or melted, one of the two. But yes, with that said, before we start off with our topic discussion for today, let's take a quick musical break, and there will be two songs prepared for you. The first song is entitled Ang Ningas ng Espiritu Santo na siyang gumagawa sa ating ay huwag nating patayin. And then we also have Brave as the song after that. And we hope that you enjoy this short musical break. And yes, join us again in a few minutes for our topic discussion.
Tayo ay Iglesia ni Cristo. Natanggap natin ang kaloob ng Espiritu Santo. Ito ang tatak ng ating pagkahirang sa mga maliligtas. Tayo'y napabilang ng Espiritu Santo. Hilingin natin sa atin ay huwag itong bawiin, kundi sa atin ito ay panatilihin. Kasalanan ay layuan, tukso'y ating labanan. Tayo ay laging mamuhay sa kabanalan. Ang ningas ng Espiritu Santo na gumagawa sa atin ay huwag nating patayin. Ito ang panawagan sa atin. Lalong magpakasigla sa mga gawain ng iglesia.
Laging sabik sa pagsamba, sa tungkulin magdalaga.
Ang ningas ng Espiritu Santo na gumagawa sa atin ay huwag nating patayin. Ito ang panawagan sa atin. Lalong magpakasigla sa mga gawain ng iglesia. Laging sabik sa pagsamba, sa tungkulin magdalaga. Ang ningas ng Espiritu Santo na gumagawa sa atin ay huwag nating patayin. Ito ang panawagan sa atin. Ang bigas ng Espiritu Santo na gumagawa sa atin ay huwag nating patayin. Ito ang panawagan sa atin.
I'm only good at a few things, a failure in many ways. Looking in the mirror, realize I need to make a change. People talk about me, they might even look at me strange, but I'm determined to make it. I pray the Lord will make me brave. Humble by His mercy, what in me is worthy to save? He rescues me from danger, holds my hand so I don't go astray. Need to live my life right, never put a minute to waste, and I won't step down. I will take my duty to my grave.
Turn my life around so I can be a winner. I'm convinced there's no fight that I can't win. I will emerge victorious. You make me a champion. Now I pray. No more being afraid. I won't be left behind. I can go on.
Heading straight toward my goal, racing to the finish line. I know what awaits me there, salvation and eternal life. I can't lose my way now. Pay attention to the signs, the world is getting darker. All the more I gotta shine. Holding tightly to my faith, enemies try to ruin mine. I can only pray they will find the way to the truth in time. We will succeed with the help of God, who is true and kind. My sword and my shield and my life are His words divine.
Turn my life around so I can be a winner. I am so far that I can, but I will emerge victorious. You make me a champion. Now I pray. No more being afraid.
Welcome back here on Faith and Melody. And yes, we hope that you enjoyed those two songs. And let's get started with our topic discussion for today. And as you may already know, our topic discussion for today is taking a digital break. Well, with that said, earlier we mentioned a lot of things regarding, the different ways to interact and communicate via digital devices or digital means. So, yes, you know, um, the use of digital devices such as smartphones, as mentioned earlier, um, laptops or computers, even game consoles and tablets have become widely adopted for, entertainment, work, communication, and even, for research and information. So, there's a lot of things that we can do with these devices. So, let's get a bit of a self check with that. So, how much time do you think you spend on your digital devices each day? Who wants to start off with? Let's see. Brother Mackley, do you know?
I don't know specifically with using all of my devices, but for my phone, I get a stat every week from the start of the week of how much I've used my smartphone. So that's a way of me monitoring of my usage. But when it comes to other devices such as my computer, I don't really know. But I think I spend a lot of time using these devices because of work or entertainment or studies in before. But I don't actually know specifically how much time, but it's a lot, sister.
At least at least you're aware of it. I feel like since we are so accustomed to these devices, it's normal, like it's been normalized to have a high amount of like time on these devices on a weekly basis. But yes, let's see. Atakara, what about you?
Yes, well, being a stay-at-home mom, you're constantly on the phone. With four children, you're constantly checking the phone, making sure the school isn't calling, or if one of the boys are calling, or the car breaks down, you constantly are checking on the phone, and then you add on our duties, right? Like radio, we're always constantly preparing our rundowns for radio. We're all constantly checking it, making sure it's getting approved, making sure it's good, making sure it's getting sent through whoever needs to get it sent to. And then, of course, you have your personal, the personal that's in between all of this, right? So for me, I think because it's easier for me to be on um, on my digitals, on all my digitals, is just a little bit easier. So I think a lot. For me, it's a lot. Just constantly checking, especially if the boys aren't around or if they're not at home, then it is constantly checking to make sure everybody's okay. And if it's not just the boys, then of course you're always checking your phone. If your friends are calling, or if your family is calling, or your loved one is calling, you're constantly checking. So it's almost where it's and this is not just me, okay? It's joined, right? It's joined on the hip with you. It's always with you. Your phone, if you're out, it's always with you. If you're at home, your laptop or your computer is usually just on. And if not, you have the notifications, right? You could hear what's going on to check on that. So I think for me, it's a lot, just because there's so many things going on during the day. Yeah, that's my answer.
Uh, as for me, I also have to use it for a lot of things, not only for entertainment. I feel like we kind of misinterpret the high amount of usage that we have on these digital devices because like in the old days, like we used to use these devices just like for calls or like mostly entertainment. We didn't have such a variety of um options on these devices, but now that we do, like we use them for everything. So it's not only for entertainment purposes, it's like for work, for church, and for your own personal life as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do. And yes, it's true what Atikar said, that everyone has their phones with them. They carry their phones with them, and if they don't have their phones, they usually have like their smart watches. So it's kind of also kind of a replacement of your phone. If you don't have your phone on you, or like you would like to go on a run or work out, they usually have that. But most of the time they have both. So uh, it's been normalized, and technology has been, growing and changing a lot as well. So yeah, I feel like it's really normal to have a high amount of time uh, spent on these devices. And it's also really useful because you have your alarm on your phone, so that's also helpful for you to have. And I don't know, like you have a timer like for when you cook. So most of the things are on your phone, so it's more than understandable to have your phone with you all the time. But yes, what about you, Brother Chase?
Yeah, I have to agree. I think most of my time every day is probably on devices, just because from work, working all the way from the start of the morning all the way to the evening, I'm on my like computer, I'm getting through everything, and then at the same time like monitoring my schedule and then making sure I haven't like missed any important messages or tasks for my duties or for any personal things. And then I think the amount of time I spend off of devices is probably like 1 or 2 hours a day, just because I think my whole life revolves around like online work or a lot of online updates and checking things. So yeah, I would have to agree.
um Yeah, I feel like even our Ohana there in Team Live Chat, also um, can relate to what we just said, because Sister Joy Pascual said, during the day, I'm using the laptop for work and constantly checking my phone for emails or messages for the rest of the day. So yeah, it's all about like keeping track of who is trying to, communicate with you or giving you instructions. And you never know, like sometimes there's even an emergency, so it's really important for you to be checking your phone. But yes, Brother Rod also said, I spend my morning on my phone watching, listening, and trying to engage with everyone on Faith and Melly. Oh, thank you, Brother Rod. See, there's different ways to use your digital devices. And Sister Myrtle says, hazards of my work in media, I am on my phone or computer excessively. Yeah, I feel like in the digital world, in the digital industry, like you really have to. It's part of your work. And then Queer Rani said, all day I work on my computer all day. And yes, I feel like everyone can relate to that. And I also would like to greet Brother Nathaniel Russell, saying, hello, Radio Fam of running errands. Oh, thank you, Brother Nathaniel, for including us while you're doing your errands or running your errands. But yes, I feel like we can all relate to that in terms of phone usage. But let's take another quick break from our topic as of now, and let's take another musical break with two songs prepared for you again. With our Faith and Melody Heartbeat segment, we will be having Hawak Niya Tayo ng Kanyang Kamay. And for our second song, we have People of God Should Continue to Please Him. So sit back, relax, and enjoy these two songs here on Faith and Melody, and continue to join us once again later on to continue with our topic for today.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
ni Kristo. Kaya tayo'y huwag paaagaw sa dyablo. Kailangan maging matapang, kailangan maging malakas. Sa mga pagsubok sa ating buhay, tayo ay magtagumpay. Sa mga pangako ng Diyos, panindigan, hawak na tayo ng kanyang kamay. Hanggang wakas manatili na Iglesia ni Kristo. Dito nakasalalay ang kaligtasan. Kailangan maging matapang, kailangan maging malakas. Sa mga pagsubok sa ating buhay, tayo ay magtagumpay. Sa mga pangako ng Diyos, manindigan, hawak na tayo ng kanyang kamay. Ng kanyang kamay. Ng kanyang kamay.
Your requested song. Our favorites. Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
How truly blessed each one of us, for God has called us in His church.
We are the privilege of praising Him, a proof He loves us so. So let's celebrate God's love and pour out within our hearts.
Let the heavens be filled with joy. We give praise, and with this happy song, we'll lift our voice for people of God should continue to please Him. People of God in continuous rejoicing, He fills us with joy and love and hope. So let's continue to love, praise, and please our God.
From different colors and races, we became one with Christ our Lord. And just like Him, let's devote our lives in serving God who loves us the most. So let's celebrate God's love and pour out what's in our hearts.
Let the heavens be filled with joy. We give praise, and with this happy song, we lift up our voice for people of God should continue to please Him. People of God in
that you enjoyed those two songs. And if you would like to listen to more INC original music, please check out the two channels that we have here on YouTube. We have INC Original Music, the INC Original Music channel, as well as the Iglesia Ni Cristo Production Company channel, where they also post different covers or even live covers from brethren all across the world. And since we're talking about devices, we have also the INC playlist mobile application that is suitable for both iOS and Android users. So, yes, so that is just more handy for you to listen to INC original music. But with that said, let's continue on with our topic discussion for today. We talked about, the amount of time that we spend on digital devices and what we usually do and how we usually use these devices. So let's continue on with this topic. And since we use these devices um, for even long hours throughout the day and throughout the week, um, are there some, sometimes it can be also tiring to uh, keep being exposed to such devices and the content that we also consume on these digital devices. So do you know would you like to share some potential signs that may hint that you may need to take a digital break? um, have you experienced some burnout in terms of using digital devices? um, let's start with I don't know, with Brother Chase. Would you like to share some of your experiences?
Yeah, I think there was one time, well, that like because of how often I use my digital devices, like I use it not just for work, but also for my church duties, for studying, and then also my personal use. That like I think at the time as well, I wasn't getting the full day of sleep as well. So like my eyes would like start twitching and they'd like burn while I'm just staring at the screen. And I've got it so that my screen has like reduced the reduced radiation, so it shouldn't be as bad, but it was just at a point where I was using my devices so much that my eyes were like just burning. Like I didn't need sleep, but my eyes felt like they did, or like they felt really heavy. So that's kind of like when I realized, okay, maybe I'm on too much, or I'm staring at the screens too much. So I started taking like periodic breaks, or I'd go out for like walks in between like working, and then um yeah, I kind of had to like find ways to like reduce it, or at least let my eyes relax. Sister Belle?
I feel like that's something that is really it goes to show that when you use so much of these devices, it can also take a toll on you physically. And in terms of that, we really need um, consistent breaks from them. It doesn't have to be a long break. Like as you said, you can take a walk during your break at work, or even just don't be on your phone while on during your breaks as well. That also helps. And I feel like it's a common problem, having tired eyes or even like uh, burning eyes. I don't know how to I don't know how to like explain that, but it is true though, because many people now also use those blue light glasses, to prevent from uh, you know to prevent your eyes from feeling tired and dehydrated, even since you're constantly on your phone, on your devices. And it also prevents straining as well from the amount of time that you stare into a screen. So yeah, I feel like there's many ways for us to prevent such things to happen to us. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that, Brother Chase. But I feel like nowadays many people can relate to that, unfortunately. But yes, what about you, Brother Mackley? Have you experienced something like that?
I guess the signs could be like doing home chores or doing personal hygiene, and you can't resist not having your phone with you or watching a video or listening to a podcast. I think that's a sign that you're too dependent on using these digital devices. So it's, yeah, a great warning that sometimes you have to control yourself and resist the urge of like using these devices, because sometimes it's a lot more healthier just to do it at the moment without any distractions, or not allowing yourself to be overly stimulated by using your phone. So I guess that's a good thing to control, that you can resist and control the urge of using these devices.
Yes, that's really a great insight, Brother Mackley. And I feel like when you're aware that um you're even like it feels like you can't live without these devices, or you're so accustomed to them that you forget how to even function without certain devices that you use on your everyday basis. I feel like yes, it's really important to take a break, um, in any way, um, and and take that time to do different things that you would like, or pursue your hobbies, or spend more time with your family or friends, like we mentioned during our icebreaker earlier. And I feel like also feeling burned out from work, and you know um, the digital overload as well, with the content that we consume on a daily basis, that also affects um, our our being on in the long run, because you feel like at the end of the not even at the end of the day, like halfway through your day, you already feel tired because you consume so much information, so much digital content, or even like in terms of entertainment, you feel like you're so exhausted because, oh, I already like felt so happy watching these videos, or you felt so entertained at the beginning of your day with these videos, that throughout the day your energy is already like so low, and you can't go through a day without feeling tired, not from the actual work, but from the digital exposure that you had throughout the day. And I feel like you can also feel um, like if you're on social media as well, like you can also feel like you could be comparing yourself as well to other people, and there might be also negativity on these on social media, or like on the content that you are consuming online. So I feel like yes, it is unfortunately been normalized to um, be on your phone for long hours throughout the day. And I mean, as long as we are able to set boundaries, or set an appointed time to use your phone, or try to um, minimalize the use of our phones for things that are not as important. I mean, it is important to keep checking your phone for important messages or emails or texts, especially in case of emergency. But if it's just to watch videos like on YouTube or on different social media platforms, just to spend time on the train, or during your break, then maybe let's take that time to rest our eyes even. That will make a big difference, I feel like. um and yes, let's see if our team live chat you know has anything to share with us as well. Brother Rod said, If you're not spending quality time with your family and friends, it may be a sign of too much use. And sister Zenaida Novistera said, kids often remind me to stop using my cell phone when cooking. And that's true because sometimes like we tend to use our phones and like there's people in the same room and you're like you're there, but then you're not actually interacting with one another. So yeah, I feel like it's all about being mindful of that, um, of your time and of other people around you. And Sister Melvi Tamayo said, when you're mindlessly scrolling and passing hours of your time without realizing it, I started using timers to make sure I don't go overboard and continue to be productive during the day. I think it's really important as well. Sometimes I even put alarms for me to, if it's a really important task that I need to do, I put an alarm to uh, at a time where I have to start or I have to like stop with like you know social media. And at the moment, currently, I am on a social media break from one of the main social media platforms that I use. So I feel like this topic is really timely. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna go back to activating my account on that social media platform. But yeah, I feel like this topic today it just really resonates with me a lot. So I hope that it also helps for those who are watching right now. And if you're struggling with the feeling of burnt out and social media or like digital overload even. But yes, Atikaria, what about you? Do you have anything to share in terms of this?
So the question is share some potential signs which may hint that you may need to take a digital break. I think one is if you are having to charge up your device or your cell phone. I think that's one hint that if your battery is low, it's time to take a break. It's time to give your phone or your device a little break. You also brought up uh, another way to take a digital break or how or what or what are some is to look at the people you're with, right? To look at your company, who you're with. Sometimes we get engaged in our phone and we forget that we are out on maybe a lunch date, or we're out with friends and we forget that and we continue to scroll on our phone or we continue to constantly check our phone for no reason really. I tell my boys this is that when we're eating or we're out or we're having family time, put your phone away, because if it's an emergency, they're gonna call somebody else. They're gonna call somebody else, right? And if it's not an emergency and they just want to talk, they'll leave a message, or you'll see the missed call. You can call them back. 30 minutes of your time is uh, is enough for maybe your phone to take a break or your digital device to take a break just as well. And I'm just going to tell, because we do have a little bit of time, I'm going to tell this teeny tiny story with your Kuya Dave. The other day, we did have a lunch date, and I know he's gonna listen to this, so he's gonna hear this. And I know there's others out there, especially those that are married couples out there, because I feel like because I'm the only one possibly married here. But okay, so if you're on a lunch date, dinner date, whatever date you are on, or you're just having some quality time with each other, um, it's time to put that digital phone away, right? It's the quality time. Sometimes we do forget. I do. I have my phone, and but I use my phone to take pictures of my food, right? Because it's exciting to show what I'm eating that night, and not all the time. I don't do that all the time. I don't do that on social media all the time. But sometimes there's just some really good food out there, and so we're out on this date. We're out on this date, and your Kuya is just scrolling. So I'm looking at him, going, "Hey, hello, I'm here. We're having a lunch, And it took him a while because he was so engaged in his phone, and it was more like, "Hello, excuse me, put your phone away." Who are you on a date with, your phone or me? It's one of those you gotta, it's a married thing. So it's one of those that you ask. And it's not a bad thing to ask them to put it away, right? Because sometimes we do forget. Sometimes we're just catching up. Sometimes we haven't been on our phones because we work all day, and we just want to check up on what's going on with social media, what's going on with some friends who's messaged, right? But when you are with somebody who's trying to have quality time with you, or just a group of people that you're trying to have quality time with, put your phones away. Um, that is the time to socialize. It is the time to get to know somebody. It is the time to maybe release whatever you've been doing all day long. Put your phones away. It's not hard. Really, if it is hard for you, like sometimes my kids, we call it screenagers, right? Screenagers or teen screens. They're out there and they just cannot put the phone. We'll walk at the mall and they're holding their phone while walking. And I said, you know what? One day you're gonna trip. One day you're gonna fall. You're gonna bump into somebody, and then that's when you're gonna put your phone away. But that's not when it should be put away, right? We should be mindful whether it is the kids or whether you are an adult, which you should be more, because you should be more mindful that if you are with a group of people or if you're on a date with that loved one, put your phone away. Again, the one person that you are spending the time with is right in front of you, so you don't need your phone, right? Give your phone a break. Maybe your phone has been on all day, or maybe it is hard for you to put your phone away, unless you're a surgeon or you're somebody who has to be there at a 911 call. But the phone can be put away, and those are the times when you see the people that you are with. You can see their expressions, their facial expressions, like, really? It's one of those. You have to pay attention to the people who you are with as well. It's important. It's important. Maybe 20 years ago, not, no age revealing, but 20 years ago, you didn't have phones, right? We didn't need phones. It wasn't that important. If it was important, the message would get to you. So those that are out there, try it. In fact, there's times like there are those that are trying to part from their devices, right? They take that. What did you say, Atibel? You were panning away from social media. There are those out
Yes.
there that's just trying to do that, and it works. It helps. It clears your mind, and sometimes. Uh, when you're on your devices too long, things start to get blurry, right? Uh, Cody Chase was saying that your eyes start to hurt, they start to burn. Those are signs right there. It's not, like I said, it's nothing is that important or nothing is that much for you to be on your phone for 24 hours a day. Take it a break, put it away, plug it in, and let that also take a break and have a change of heart as well to those that are with you. Um, so that's mine. Those are some of the hints that you could already take. Those are simple hints, right? For all of us to remind ourselves as well that are out there.
And with what you just shared, I feel like it's really a kind reminder to every one of us to like be more mindful, you know, especially when we're spending time with our friends and loved ones, and especially if you haven't seen that person in a long time, or you don't get to meet or hang out as much as you would like to. And it just, because for example, yeah, if you're really so excited to see that person and then you're on your phone, it doesn't really send the message that you're excited to see them. It's more like, oh, it's boring, let me use my phone. I mean, I like how you approached it at the care. It was kind of, I mean, the tone was quite playful as well, like, oh, are you dating me, or or my, or your phone? Like, I mean, I feel like that's a, I mean, that's a kind approach as well. Like, it's not really condescending, but it's not really like hurtful either. I feel like, yeah, you just really need to, be patient with one another as well, with your friends. I feel like the hangouts where you forget that you have a phone, that those are the hangouts that are actually like memorable. Well, unless you really need the phone for like the game, or for directions or pictures, that's one thing. But like, if it's not about that, then let's not be on our phones. And one thing as well, like, people say, oh, I'm not on my phone, but then they're listening to music while they're talking to you, and you can see, clearly see that they have their um earbuds in their ears, and it still feels like they're not really paying attention to you, because although they can hear you, they're still listening to music. So I feel like even those type of things we need to be aware of, because yeah, I feel like it's not as nice to see that you're not 100% there. um and maybe you're not doing it intentionally. Maybe it's like something you've been so accustomed to that um you've been doing it without thinking, or like you've been doing it naturally. But I feel like, yes, there should be, there should be mindfulness when we interact with other people and with one another. So thank you, Atikare. I'll use that. I'll use that with my siblings. Are you spending time with me or with your phone? And they're probably gonna say with their phone because they want to tease you.
Yeah, I know your siblings. They're so funny. So
I already know my answer for that, but I want to try and see how that's gonna go. Yes. Since we talked about like the hints on like needing to take a digital break, how will that digital break how would that digital break benefit you in terms of like having reduced time spent on your phone devices? Um, you know, as we mentioned earlier, I feel like, um, yes, resting physically, resting our eyes, and being more mindful of the people that we're around with. But do you have anything else to, you know, share in terms of that, Brother Mackley?
As that was mentioned earlier, I think you're probably going to be less distracted, and having that focus on in your studies or at work or socially, having that reduced time allows you, yeah, to be less distracted, and also be more focused in what you're doing, your specific task. And as I mentioned earlier, like having reduced time on these devices, you will have that less urge of using these things. So it gonna make gives you a lot more energy, also mentally, that you're not overstimulating yourself, and that you're giving yourself time and space to also reflect, because you might get distracted consuming content on social media. So that's one of the things that might benefit someone.
Thank you, Brother Mackley. And when you said about reflecting, um, sometimes when I'm commuting to work or to another place, I usually listen to music, but there's certain times where I try not to, like even though the place is busy or there's a lot of people in the train or on the bus, I try not to, or try not to like use my phone so that I can hear my thoughts. Like, you need to have time to hear your thoughts, and to like uh actually like, oh, like grasp the situation, or grasp where you are in life. You really need those certain moments, at least like once a day, so that you don't you don't take time for granted, because sometimes we always say, oh yeah, I'll do it later, and then you're like, oh, like a whole week has passed, I haven't done it, or like, oh, a week has passed and I feel like I haven't resonated with my thoughts, or with my family or friends as much as I would like to. So like, even being present in the moment, I feel like that's really important. So yeah, thank you, Brother Mackley. What about you, Brother Chase?
I think physically it's really beneficial, just because if your body's like really drained and tired and you're always staring at a screen, it's nice to kind of like lay back and just kind of disconnect from all of that. Not just like spending time with your friends, but also spending time with yourself, like mentally as well, and kind of helping. I think it helps you to process like everything that you've been consuming, and it kind of gives you like that disconnect. Um, and then obviously emotionally as well, if if you're going through anything, or if there's anything like bothering you, or if you've seen anything that's like affected you emotionally, I think it's nice to kind of take a step back and reel yourself back in. And I think especially with like how the how easy it is to just use digital devices and like be on the internet instantly, it's that kind of instant gratification. And I think it really like affects your hormones, and it just makes you feel good all the time. So I think sometimes you, because of that, people take things for granted that are very sincere, or things that make you feel really good, and you kind of slowly lose touch of that. So for me, it's like music. If i'm if i'm always like online or doing things digitally, I like have less time for music and like playing instruments, and then I slowly kind of lose touch with it, and it doesn't feel as good when I'm doing it myself, like as a hobby. So I think it's nice to kind of like reconnect with not just people around you and people in person, but also with yourself as well.
Yes, that's really what you said about your hobbies. That's really something that I also have been working on. I just realized that like I haven't touched my guitar in such a long time, or my flute, or the keyboard. So I hope that I'll be able to make more time for that. I mean, in church, I mean, I am a choir member, so like at least I still sing. And oh, we recently had our Care for Humanity yesterday, so I was able to have perform like a few songs yesterday, and it was quite fun. I kind of missed it, so yeah, that also um goes to show that it was like a reminder that, oh, I should do this more often, so making time for what you like and love doing. Thank you, Brother Chase. And what about you, Ate Care?
How may it benefit you to reduce the time spent on your devices? It is actually it can benefit you mentally, physically, right? Emotionally. Sometimes these devices uh, gives us sad news. Sometimes it gives us bad news, right? And to turn that around, I mean, it could also give us great news and awesome things that are passed on to us as well. But I think the way it's going to benefit us to reduce this device is to do things the natural way. I don't know if okay, maybe I'm a little bit older, um, but sometimes still writing with a pen, is still good out there. I know sometimes there's those that are out there that have their tablets, and they may have a daily input, daily journal, daily that they go in and they go in. But sometimes, when you do it the the old school way, is you take a pen and you take a notebook and you write it down. Take that break. I know some of you are out there that's saying, what? That's like a pen and paper? No way. Why? When it's so much easier, you can go on a tablet, you can, autocorrect, you can correct it, you can go back, you can paste, you can copy, right? Of course you could do that, right? A lot of people can do that. But there's some that are out there that still write letters. There's still that sends it out to, as they call it, snail mail, right? Right? You send it, you get a stamp. I wouldn't know how to get a stamp, but I mean, there's people that still do that, right? And it's a little bit more not so busy in your head, having these digital things of having to push this button, do this, and do this, and do this. It's so simple to just take a pen and a paper and just write, right? It's like I said, that's mental. It's more mental um, to do, just to clear your mind. Sometimes you just have to have that, Atibel. Yeah.
And it's in terms of also doing tasks, it's really helpful for me to write it down on a piece of paper, because it helps you remember. Like you remember in school when you're studying, or like when the teacher says, "Oh, write this down 30 times." So you write it down, and you remember it.
Yeah, you do remember it. You do. And it's funny because my kids, I don't remember my passwords all the time. I write them down. I have a paper full of passwords, right? And they always say, well, why don't you just put it on your phone and you just click on your phone, go into passwords, and you look it up, right? I go, okay, well, what happens if my phone is dead and I need my password? What happens if there's a glitch in my laptop and I can't get it? What happens if there's no internet and I need my password right away? It's easier for me to go in the drawer, pick up the piece of paper, and just go, oh, here it is. It's right here. Sometimes you could do both. I know there's some that are out there that do both. You have a diary or journaling that you do online, and then there's some, or on your laptop, and then there's some that actually just write it down. um, they do that. I still like my boys, they've requested that I write recipes for them, but not online. They actually bought me one of those leather books with just blank
Oh,
paper, right? And they said every time you cook something, write the recipe down, mom, so that when I get older, I could use this. And I said, well, I could just send it to you. I could write it on the laptop or type it on the laptop and send it to you. And they're like, no, no, because this way it carries with us. It carries us. It's actually like a book that we could read and we could just go through it and then we could just pass it on to the next person and pass it on to the next person. That's kind of cool. So now I do have a book of just recipes, and it's every single thing they want me to write down. And whatever is cooked, whatever it's made, they always just say, just write it down. Um, and it's and you put little pictures in there. Sometimes you draw little pictures in there, or you'll say, or just whatever you want to put in there. It makes it just a little bit more personal, you know. And then again, if you lose the internet, or you lose whatever, or your computer crashes. I don't know much about computers, but I feel like if it crashes, it's gone, right? Or if it gets wet, it's gone. This you can grab, this book you can just grab anytime. So yeah, take that the older way, and it'll benefit your mind as well. It just gets to rest your mind just a little bit more
that's
if
nice.
you don't.
And it's also something that they can give out to their future children, like uh, it's gonna be, oh, this is your grandma's recipes. Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. It's not like on a computer or anything, because what if the computer breaks down, or like, your phone breaks down? You can't give that to the future generation. But yes, let's see with our team live chat what they've shared with us so far. Um, in terms of sharing some potential signs which may hint to um needing to take a digital break. Uh, they also they also said, um, Sister Joy Pascual said, "I put my phone down whenever I hear "Mama" from my kids." That's nice. It's also like
Mm.
call out, like, oh, actually I should be spending more time with them. And then Brother Rod said, I don't have social media, but I have YouTube live chat. Thank you, Brother Rod, for being here today. And then Sister Zenaida also said that she can relate to Sister Joy Pascual as a mother. And then um, Brother Rod also shared with us some acronyms. So he said digital, doing inspired goodness and taking a lay back, and then break, bringing relaxation even at knee deep situations. Thank you, Kuya Rod. And then, oh, we have Sister Flo Alejandra Guillermo from Oregon saying, listening while working. Thank you, po, for joining us today. And then we also have Sister Marietta Miller. Hello, po. And yes, Brother Nathaniel said, yes, we need to value in person interactions more. And then Sister Marietta said, hello, po. I'm not a digital person. I'm not to digital person. I check emails, listen to music, and tune into Faith and Melody and INC Media. And then Sister Zenaida said, break. rational events acquired, keep it with our family instead. And then Brother Rod said, "Oh, I want a copy of that cookbook at a care." Aw. You should send it to us after. And then Sister Melvi Tamaya said, "I still write letters though, snail mail, and write my thoughts in my journal as well." Oh, that's nice, Sister Melvi. And then yes, hashtag team Ube. Uh, thank you so much, Team Live Chat, for sharing your thoughts so far. But in terms of breaks, let's take another musical break since this is indeed Faith and Melody. So let's take another musical break, and we will be playing for you the INC original music entitled Abound. We'll be right back.
All right, we're ready?
We're ready? Okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There may be many people losing hope these days, but I hold on to God's promises no matter what I face. Troubles in life will never weaken me, cause I'm a member of the INC. My hope is strong as I sing this song. For every storm that I go through in my life, I tell him all my worries and cares. I won't be afraid, for he is always with me. Instead I heard from faith, anything's possible, nothing's unbearable. My faith and hope is in God. My hope is true, with faith I will endure. Day against any sorrows. Oh, His love and His embrace remind me I'm not alone. His love is all I will ever need. His strength is my heart again. So I'll obey Him, my God, whom I love. My faith and hope is in God. My hope is true, with faith I will.
To God I wanna give Him thanks for His love and His wondrous grace. With faith and hope we know He never fails us. He's brought us this far.
In our Father, yes, we can always trust.
Every day we know it's such a blessing. Something to Him, all my prayers I bring. Hard trials, temptations, sufferings, but I will never stop. Abandoning hope and faith and love for God.
And hope is in God. My hope is true, with faith I will endure. And hope is in God. My hope is true, with faith I will endure. And hope is in God. My hope is true, with faith I will endure.
Back. Well, we talked about the various signs for us um to be needing a digital break and the various benefits that uh, we can have during this reduced time spent on our devices. So, since we are towards that road in terms of being more mindful about our time and the people that we are with, what small steps could help us reduce digital dependency without feeling completely disconnected? So, what boundaries do you set in stone, or could you set in stone um, when it comes to our digital um, usage? Um, for the chase.
In terms of the boundaries, I think kind of limiting yourself for setting like, I don't know how to call it, or like what you'd call it. Not like a schedule, but kind of having regular breaks, things like that, or being able to prioritize or organize yourself or your tasks better so that you have time in between to kind of take that break and that disconnect as well. And I think just knowing what's important and what you should be dealing with straight away, and then what you can kind of leave for later. Because I think someone told me this one time, if there's a problem, then and it's like a really big problem, then like Sister Carolyn said earlier, they probably wouldn't go to you, because if they really need help immediately, there'll be other people. And there's almost never really a situation where like everything is burning down and you're needed like ASAP. But if that ever was the case, they'd probably call you nonstop. So then you definitely like, pick up the phone or something. But if it's not that case, then you can always leave it for later, no matter how urgent it might seem. And things aren't as critical as they always seem. So if you do need to take that step back or take that like 5 minute break, like I think it's really helpful as well, just for your mental and your emotional as well. Sister Bell?
I always forget to mute. Sorry, but thank you, Brother Chase, for your insight. And yes, it is true. If it's a really urgent matter, they'll be calling you nonstop. Um, and yes, it's just sometimes it's just muscle memory for us to keep checking our phones. You know, when you're like someone asks you for the time and you're like, oh yeah, let me check the time, and then you end up scrolling on social media, and then you forget, oh wait, what's the time, and you have to open your phone again. And I feel like those are the cases where you really like set in stone like certain like boundaries, or even like discipline yourself to be more mindful. Yeah, be more mindful of the situation, and like be in the like live in the situation, because we're always wanting to go on social media, um to look at or watch silly videos, or like funny videos or cute videos of pets. That's what I usually do. But yes, it's just really important to live in the moment, be mindful. And yes, if it's really emergency, they'll call you, or they'll make it known that it's a really urgent matter. So yeah, thank you, Brother Chase. What about you, Brother Mackley?
I think reading a book might help. I think doing some activities that doesn't involve digital devices, and having like a timer of like drawing or writing your journal, reading a book, and as you slowly get used to it and do it normally in your daily schedule, you then get used to it kind of, and be less dependent on like using digital devices at some point where it's like more natural to you, that you're not as used to using digital devices, your phone or computer, but having these kinds of fun activity to help you be more like or have fun using other things that doesn't involve digital devices might help you get used to it by being less dependent on it.
And I also think that making time for the hobbies that your hobbies, or the things that you like, will drift you away from using your phone all the time when you don't need to. It's really something that helps you, even like um, to set more time for the things that you would like to uh, do more, rather than just endlessly scrolling on your phone or on social media. And I feel like yes, being keeping in touch with your um with your own interest as well. It's not always about work, uh, or trying to, keep up with everything. You also need to take some time for yourself, rest up, and, um, keep yourself rooted to your own interest as well. I feel like is something really important. And if you don't, I mean, if you really don't have any hobbies though, like try to get out of your comfort zone and try new things. I don't know, like painting, or like, I don't know, rock climbing, certain like certain activities that will help you ease your mind when you're stressed, rather than just being on your phone. And you know and I'm not saying that like social media is a bad thing, like because certain people also have like um a job revolving social media, and certain people just like being on social media, which is, it's not bad, as long as you know you know you you know your limits, that you should be taking regular breaks from it, so that you don't have burning eyes, or like red eyes, or even sensitive eyes from the light, even on the long run. So yes, social media or like digital devices are there to help us throughout our everyday life. They're like a tool for us to have a easier way to do things in during our lives, or like at work even. That's why technology keeps evolving, because it just helps us to get things done more easily, or even in a more quick manner. But yeah, we just need to be more mindful, and I feel like looking for hobbies or spending time uh, with your family is something that will help reduce your digital dependency. Right, Etikare?
Yes, it is. Also, like for us, moms who stay home, or dads, if there's some dads out there that stay home as well, you put boundaries, right, or limits to when you go on your social media or even your digital device. For me here, if I'm not on radio in the morning, then I go out and I do, groceries, or I go shopping, or I do something outside from my office. You got to get out of the office, right? Because if you're here in your office, you're gonna just be tempted to look at your computers and your laptop, right? So I go out. I go do, like I said, do groceries, or I do shopping, or I do something, right? Come back, then I could check my stuff because I've already done half the day, or half the morning has already been gone without social media or my devices as well. Now, like this for today, because I had radio this morning, now it switches. So after this, I'll do groceries, or I'll do a shopping trip, or I'll go out to get out of the house also as well. You just switch it. You switch your schedule just a little bit. There are times when on a rainy day, I don't want to leave the house because it's raining out there, and I don't want to, get all get all wet and all that stuff, right? Because the weather's bad. So then you stay home. Now there's other things you can do. If everyone's at work, for me, cook, right? Cook, cook something. Sometimes it takes an hour. Sometimes it takes less than that. But to get off your phone, to get off your devices, um, cook as one way you could do something. Do laundry, do something, clean the house, keeps busy. Turn up the music, right? Or you could use your laptop, turn on the INC original music, full blast it, so you can hear it all around the house. But then you keep busy. You're actually not looking at anything. You're actually listening, right? So then that's another way you could slowly um, get away from your devices, because it is very addicting to be on your device. I've seen that with friends, family, loved ones, young children, young as 6, 7 years old. They're already on their devices starting early. That's a no-no. You got to put a limit on that. You got to put boundaries, especially for the little ones. Now it's worse when you're an adult, because now you're set, and you're a little bit harder to 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 get out of that habit. And you have to remember that there are other things to do than to be on your device, right? Again, if you have a family out there, cook for your family. If you have nothing else to do, go wash the car outside. Get that fresh air. Get go walk somewhere. Walk around the block. Um, unless you have like a little those little what are those called that plays music? Pod little pod things. I don't remember what they're called because I know a lot of people use their phone for music as well. I do. I'm guilty. I'll put my earbuds on, play music, but I put my phone away, right? So I'm walking in the neighborhood, I'm doing that. And sometimes I do that while I'm doing groceries. Actually, if I'm not on radio, I do have my earpods on because I'm listening to Faith and Melody. And I mean, but I'm not actually looking at a screen because I'm still keeping busy multitasking as well. So you could slowly do it that way, and then eventually just put it away. Like they say, out of sight, out of mind, right? You go to a restaurant, leave your phone in the car. You won't even know if it's blinking. You won't even know if anyone's calling you. Take that 30 minutes. Like I said, I tell the boys it's just 30 minutes. And if it's that bad that your friends just keep calling on your phone or they just keep bugging you on your phone, message them back and say, I'm at lunch with my family. I'll be done in 30 minutes. There you go. Put the phone away. You don't even need to wait for their response. Slowly do that. Or even, when you are with your friends, just remind them, hey guys, when I'm at dinner with my family, I'm gonna be blocked. It's a blocked 30 minutes. So just be patient and call me in 30 minutes. It's those little things that you could not just tell yourself or tell your family, but you could tell your friends, hey, give me 30 minutes with my family or my loved one. Or again, if you're out on a date, 30 minutes. 30 minutes to eat and talk quality time. That's all you need, right? That's all you need. So do it slowly. It's not overnight, but do it slowly. It can be done. It can be done. So yes, Devel.
Thank you, Atakir. And yes, it's just really important to, um, you know, live life. Not everything is on your devices. There's more to life than just that. And yes, touch grass. Basically, go to the park more often. Go on a walk. Uh, Play sports if you like sports. My brother, Dandan, he loves sports. I remember, especially like when we were less busy, he would always ask, Ate, can we go to the park? Ate, can we go to the park? Ate, can we go to the park? So even if it's freezing cold, we would go to the park or like go biking. That was before our bike broke down, but yes, hopefully we'll get a new bike soon. But yes, it's just like, yeah, live life. Try to spend more time with your loved ones, and it's just really important to, you know, how do you call it? Um, Spend more time with your loved ones and your friends and family, because you never know. Life is short, and um, your phone is not gonna be the thing that you will think about if something goes wrong. You think about your loved ones, right? So, yes, um, make time for yourself and for the important people in your life, and that'll go a long way, especially, you know um, in terms of church. There's so many activities that we have in church. As I mentioned yesterday, we had a care for humanity activity. I myself was able to invite a friend of mine from work, and it was just, you know it's just refreshing to see new faces during church events. It's just fun, and it doesn't you don't have yesterday I was so busy, I wasn't really on my phone. So, like, that's just really nice. And even cooking together with your friends, right, brother Chase? It's just, like, um, church activities, or like making time for your friends and family. Those help. in the long run, those are things that make you happy, right? And as mentioned earlier, like sometimes we receive a lot of bad news or negativity on social media or on our devices. So let's take that turn and, you know, let's make the most of our time to um, be happy and serve our Almighty God through various activities, various events, and, you know, inviting more people inside the church. And, you know, there's many ways for us to be spending our time when we're alone and when we're with other people. So, yes, let's be creative, let's be mindful, and let's be really, you know, let's be in the moment, be more present. And yes, with that said, let's see what Team Live Chat has um, shared with us so far. Um, Sister Zenaida Novistera said that small steps can help reduce her digital dependency is keeping myself busy with house chores after work, bond with family, and continue to join church activities. And Sister Melvi Tamayo said, have hobbies that you're passionate about, connect with others, and enjoy some time off for yourself, even just walk outside to enjoy nature. And Brother Rod said, exercising, going for a walk, talking to people. Sister Joy said, get involved with church activities. I normally mute my phone, and that's when I receive messages. I've been texting you and you're not replying. But yes, Sister Doxa Yango said, happy viewing po from local of Cabanatuan, district of Cabanatuan, city of Nueva Ecija. Thank you for Sister Doxa for joining us. And Sister Joy also said, during family hour, no gadgets. That's very important, you know, like so that everyone is there present and you're able to enjoy each other's company. And Brother Rod also said, this is a great show today. With the times we are in now, we definitely use our devices a lot. A lot of things we do, maybe 90% of what we do, we use our phones. A lot of things shared on doing things, we still use our phones. But putting the phone down and away completely is really taking a break and getting back down to earth. Uh, so to speak, bring it back like the old days. Thank you. And he also said thank you for this topic. And yes, I'm really grateful for the ohana there. It is really a timely topic because, you know, we live in such a digital world, and it's really important to, you know, keep in touch with what's really important and make time for what's really important. And yeah, Takara said on Team Live Chat, use your devices to share the link to Faith and Melody. That's true. You know, there's different ways to use your devices to be more productive and to be of help, especially for church. But with that said, you know, um, let's since Sister Joy Pascual mentioned about INC Family Hour, yeah, it's really it's really important to do our family hour in a weekly basis, and even more than just a week. So take your time to rest from your digital devices, to go outdoors, uh, take care of yourself, and, you know, spend your time with your friends and family and sharing your faith. So with that said, uh, we will be now having our verse of the week, which is entitled Family Matters, Connecting Through Communication, with Brother Donald Pinnock, a minister of the gospel.
Hello, everyone. It seems nowadays we turn to online resources in order to connect with others. But relying too heavily on technology can potentially cause a relationship and communication to deteriorate, especially between members of a household. So, how can families avoid a communication disconnect between the parents and the children? I'm Brother Donald Pinnock, and let's read here in Proverbs 6, and the verses are 20 to 23, as we rely on the Bible to provide the answer. My son, keep your father's commands and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them upon your heart forever, fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For these commands are a lamp, this teaching is a light, and the corrections of discipline are the way to life. So, first of all, when it comes to the children, because our parents have been appointed by God to oversee the family, let's listen respectfully to their admonitions and be fully present or aware when they are speaking to us. Because their advice, just as we read, when you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For these commands are a lamp, this teaching is a light. As for the parents, we should find time to have meaningful face to face conversations with our children. And while doing so, we should strive to reinforce God's teachings in their hearts, their mind, and most especially their life. At the same time, parents should be mindful that when discussing matters with their children, that their son or daughter would not become discouraged and quit trying, as we can read in Colossians 3:21 because we are too abrasive in our tone of voice or use of words. No parent wants their children to become disheartened and lose ambition in life. So let's speak with one another in a manner that will be beneficial to both parties. Our time with our family members is indeed very precious. Let's not allow the prevalence of technological entertainment or communication to take away from the meaningful moments we could and should have with each other. Dear friends, that is our verse of the week. Please stay safe, stay strong, and stay faithful. God bless.
And that was our verse of the week. And we hope that, this topic has brought so much inspiration to you. And it's also, one of the signs for you to take a digital break. And with that said, if you have any questions or would like to know more about our faith inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, feel free to contact us on our various social media platforms or channels, or email us on faithandmelody at incradio.net. And with that said, would you like to shout out anyone, or do you have any greetings, Brother Mackley?
Yes, shout out to my family here in Oslo, and also make sure to tune in to INCRadio Northern Europe Satellite Studio every Sundays at 9 p.m. Central European Time. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Brother Mackley. What about you, Brother Chase?
Yeah, shout out also to my family and also to the locale of Newport, Wales in Britain North.
Thank you so much. And Atakir?
Yes, thank you for joining us. We have another program tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The title tomorrow is Soldier On. Again, on Tuesdays, we'll be playing a lot of the melody and a lot of your favorite INC original music. So we will see you there tomorrow, bright and early.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Atakir, Brother Chase, and Brother Mackley for joining us today. And to our team, Ohan, our team live chat there, thank you so much for your constant support and for being with us on INC Radio. DZM 954. And if you're currently watching or listening to our replay episodes, try and come join us online or live here on YouTube channel of INC Radio DZM 954 every Monday to Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And for those in the Philippines, that's Tuesday to Friday at 12:01 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. And as Ate Care mentioned, for tomorrow's episode, it's Soldier On. And don't forget to join her as well. Thank you so much to everyone. Today's topic was really timely and it was really inspiring as well. And we hope that each and one of you will make time for your loved ones and for the important matters in your life. And yes, thank you also to our technical team there in the main studio. Thank you both, Createx, and also to Sister Dasa Senas and Brother Edwin Acebuque. Thank you both so much. And special thanks also to our CEBSI President and CEO and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, and to our Executive Minister, our dearest Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much, Paul. For our next program, we have INC or Iglesia ni Cristo and the Bible. And the topic for that is those who have true fellowship with Christ, with Brother Jonas Iris and Brother Mandy Nepomuceno. And for our closing song on our show today, it will be the INC original music entitled Place Your Trust in God. I'm your Atibel, and we hope that we've made the start of your week extra meaningful. Continue to invite more of your friends here and join us again tomorrow on the next episode of Faith and Melody. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
When life is heavy and too hard to take, never forget to pray and patiently wait. Walk on the right path in every step you make, for the race we're running is almost over. Guard our hearts and shield them with our faith.
We thank God because He showed us the light. Despite the problems and hardships that came into our lives, from now on we promise to fully obey. From the teachings of the church we will never turn away, by submitting to the leader whom we dearly love, staying true to our Lord God up above. We will never turn away from this calling that we have.
Calling that we have, serving in faith, love and hope. We will always abound. Don't give up now. Just keep up the pace. We should go the way and run in a race. So on the right path, and we should always be ready. Rejoicing in all sufferings, for God is Almighty. So don't give up, never give in. Pray in silence and place your trust in Him. Wait for His response to your plea. Will faithfully obey His will. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Don't let your faith be ruined. Faith and work should be coupled with efforts that are redoubled.
With the works of the Lord we should always unite. Give glory to our God and His Son, Jesus Christ.
Just keep up the pace. We should go the way. We should always unite. So walk on the right path, and we should always be ready.
We should always unite.
Rejoicing in all sufferings, for God is Almighty. So don't give up, never give in. Pray in silence and place your trust in Him. Wait for His response to your plea. Faithfully obey. So don't give up, never give in. Pray in silence and place your trust in Him. Wait for His response to your plea. Faithfully obey His way. Don't give
INCRadio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo, sumasahimpapawid mula sa Quezon City.